Goodness, I'm really excited to be able to talk with you today. So thanks for being here with us. Thanks for making comments. I appreciate being able to talk back with you on the comments for Rich Girl Live. Okay, so today is, okay, hang on. Today is Rich Girl number 107, and it is entitled Wherever We Are, However We Can. So, 2 weeks ago, our topic was on mentors and the vital role that they play in our lives, really in countless ways. And your assignment with me was to reach out to at least one possible mentor. Ask to be within their influence. Ask for the help that you need, or maybe even don't even know that you need it. But we are always short somewhere in this gap of where we are and where we want to be. We all need help somewhere, sometime. So that was last 2 weeks ago. Now, I want to begin today with this because I've been very touched today by a broadcast that I just listened to from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which I am a member. And the weekly Sunday broadcast was entitled The Spoken Word. It's every Sunday morning at 9:30. But it touched me. This particular time really touched me. And it always does, but I really wanted to talk about it with you today. I felt it was a direct and kind message, especially after last week's topic of apathy. So I'll begin by just telling you the couple of stories that were presented today. So a man sat in an airport waiting for his flight and reading the news on his phone. He shook his head and he frowned as he scrolled through story after story after story about all the trouble in the world. But if he glanced up, he would have seen an exhausted mother of two sitting on the bench across from him, trying to quiet her crying baby. The baby's 3-year-old brother, who had been playing with a toy car, gently rested the car on the baby's lap. Here, he said, play with this, it's fun. That kind of generosity and love won't show up on a newsfeed, but it happens, and it can brighten everyone's outlook. Last Halloween, a young child was trick-or-treating when one giver showed him an empty bowl and said, "Sorry, I'm all out of candy." Well, the little boy reached into his own bag and pulled out a candy bar for the adult. See, that kind of bright-heartedness should help all of us feel confident that the future is in good hands. If we look, we can find kindness all around us. A California family in need was surprised with a new kitchen, laundry, and appliances from the local boy and girls clubs. A high school right here in Colorado made a yearbook all in Braille for a visually impaired classmate. And then shortly after a young couple moved into their new home in Massachusetts, they had a baby who was born deaf. When their new neighbors found out, they were sorry that they wouldn't be able to communicate with the little girl as she grew up. So they hired someone to teach them American Sign Language, and before long, 40 neighbors were attending the class. The little girl is 3 years old now, and not surprisingly, the first word that she signed to them was friend. All over the world, all over the world, people are combining compassion with creativity to build bonds. If we're tempted to think society is pulling apart, the more and more people are sowing discord, perhaps we can just look away from the noise for a moment. What we're likely to see is a quiet groundswell of love, friendship that is really happening all around us. We may even feel inspired to join such efforts, adding our own offering of peace and compassion wherever we are, however we can. So, as an assignment this week, it really needs not to be said, right? Of course not, because you found yourself today catching this message, looking away from the noise for a moment, or for much longer than a moment. This is where you're likely to see love and friendship all around. Let's join together in our pledge as rich girls. Yes, sisters, even some brothers out there. Let's join our pledge to look away from the negative news, the political battles, the disagreements, the standoffishness attitudes. Let's view and create our own peace offering of compassion wherever and however we can. Next month, everyone, looking forward to a few new changes on Rich Girl as I've invited a couple of people who have been influencers to me on for a portion of the message for the week. Okay, thank you all. Have an incredible, compassionate, kind filled week. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week.